All right, we are live via StreamYards. All right, we're testing this out to see if I can get a little bit more audience participation from y'all. So come into the room, come into the room, come into the room, come into the room. Please come into the room so that we can begin another chapter of healing and peace and love, and Cersei trying to sabotage me because she's a hater. Okay. All right, so the first topic is based off of a video that I just saw today by Danie. And I love Danie. She always has really great topics and she's very inspirational, And I just think about how, I've always shouted out other YouTubers and nobody's ever shouted me out. But I know people be watching and taking shit from my videos though. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, my thing is, if you can celebrate when a white person is talking about the same things that we're talking about, if you can celebrate when a man is talking about the same things that we're talking about, why not celebrate when a fellow Black woman is talking about the things that we're talking about? I don't know. Anyways, like I said, for me, I'm always going to give people credit when I'm watching their content and I get an idea based off of their content. It's just that simple. And my thing is, even if it's like, oh, you just like got a few, talking points from watching the video, why not shout out and be like, oh, I was watching so-and-so. The way y'all shout out, like I said, when white people and when men talk about the same things, So that's interesting. That's an interesting form of unity there. But yeah, I don't appreciate seeing things that I've literally said being said again. And like I said, I always shout. I've shouted out so many women on this channel. So I don't know. But, it's the nature of the business. It's funny dudes, it's funny business. You can be a person that's in the business and be like, I'm just trying to entertain. I'm just trying to have fun. And, that doesn't matter to like the nature of the beast. You know what I'm saying? So, all right, let's get into, like I said, I was watching Danie's video and she had a video based off of another content creator's video. I'm just getting into StreamYard, so I don't, I don't know how to like share stuff. We're trying to figure out, oh, it looks like you can have like multiple types of screens, but I don't have like anybody to join me. Oh, you can invite people to join. I'm not sure how. Okay. Yeah, it's my first time using StreamYard, so it is what it is. Okay. Trying to figure it out, like I said. And this is not a free service. The services that are free suck. So this is not a free service. I don't even know if this shit is working, to be honest. God damn, because I'm like, I can't see anything. Okay, I think it's working. Okay, so anyway, so she was watching a video by some people. I can't remember their name, but anyways, they were talking about how once again, the problem in the Black community, right? This is where it all fell apart, right? After they was watching Sally Jesse Raphael and Jenny Jones when they should have been building something. Okay. I guess while the women were watching, they got like incredibly fat, right? And it destroyed the families. It destroyed the unity. Men couldn't take care of their kids because a bitch was 30 pounds overweight. This is what we're supposed to believe. This is the narrative. Anyways, so this is how most people feel, I guess. Because this is what I hear a lot of people saying this. That, they're like, oh, if you guys could just lose weight, if you could just lose weight, a lot of what y'all talking about would not be happening. Well, let's see. They were pretty in shape in the 50s, 60s, 70s. Shit started changing in the 80s. They were still pretty in shape. Early 90s, still pretty in shape. You know, like you could see that in the women. So what did happen? What did happen? That the standard fell off, right? Of health. Well, multiple factors. All right. One being most women are overweight. Okay. So it's very hard to not be overweight in America. I'm not making excuses. I work out every day. I've been working out, I've worked out my whole life off and on. My weight fluctuates. But I think that this is an important conversation to have because it just always seems so one-sided to me. And like I said, again, shout out to Danie for doing this video because it's a tough conversation to have. But I just feel like there's a lot more nuance to it than simply you guys have the physical willpower and you should do it. You know what I'm saying? It goes beyond they have the physical willpower to do it and they're not doing it. You know what I'm saying? It's very nuanced and there's just more factors involved, I feel like. Just a little bit more about my weight loss journey. You can look on my channel and see that I've been pretty preoccupied with my fitness and weight loss and all that stuff. And I think for me, the problem was that I was focused on the weight loss and that transformation and just getting that done, that I didn't focus on the inward things that were making me continue to gain weight. When I first started the channel, I had lost 80 pounds for like the second time at that point. Okay. Like, my weight has gone up and down, and that's why I call myself Baby Oprah. Baby Oprah, baby Oprah, baby Oprah, baby Oprah. Okay, I'm Baby Oprah because my weight, has gone up and down, and I've been very hard on myself about that my whole life. Like, oh, why can't you get it together? Why can't you look like the fittest of women, right? And it's like, there's a multitude of factors. You know what I'm saying? I grew up in abject poverty in the hood, and the malnutrition and neglect that I experienced as a result of that has basically destroyed my metabolism. So whereas people who grow up in households where they eat healthy all the time have a stronger, better metabolism. That's just a fact. That's a biological fact that I have to deal with. I can't use it as an excuse to be unhealthy. No. But I'm going to acknowledge it in my journey so that I can actually get this done and that I'm not hard on myself and holding myself, once again, as I always talk about on this channel, to unrealistic expectations. Okay? So, Black women are gaining weight and unhealthy in relationships. Okay, sure, maybe. I don't know. I don't know all Black women and what their relationships are like. Okay. But in fact, the Black women I can think of that have been in long-term relationships have maintained a very fit size, just speaking from my experience. Besides me, who I've already admitted, I yo-yo and my weight fluctuates and it is what it is. Okay. I think that we need to focus on our health beyond men being preoccupied by what we look like. Okay, so Yanni was talking about on her channel, she was talking about, she just had more confidence and she feels better and she felt healthier and she felt like it's the right thing to do and she prioritizes working out. Okay, and that's something that I've also begun to do as well, as a life journey. You know what I'm saying? Whereas I used to do it the other times that I've lost massive amounts of weight, I was doing it being like, once I reach my goal, right? Once I reach my goal, right? I'm like, I'm here. Look at me. I'm fit. Woo! And then I'm like, fuck that shit. That was a journey, right? And you're on some diet plan. I mean, you can, like I said, you can look back at my old videos. We got Weight Watchers, Jenny Craig, Dr. Oz. I went on the damn show, and they made me try the fucking Dr. Oz detox, and like, yeah, sure, it works to like eat nothing. But I was trying other people's programs and I wasn't focusing on just being healthy. And that's still an everyday journey. But the point is, like I said, it's more nuanced than just you should be able to get up and do it. As I've stated before, if you want to know more about my personal life, you can join my Patreon. But I've had medical and physical, complications in my life that contributed to my fluctuating weight gain, that have definitely contributed to my fluctuating weight gain. It's at a point where I would have to be very focused and serious, right? Very just focused on that. And I've always felt like, even when I did lose weight, like, well, I don't like the superficial, right? So I'm like, okay, well, let's, people will be like, oh, you're fit, you're thin, and I'm like, okay, let's focus on more important things, right? I don't really like the superficial. So that's some of the things that made it hard for me to like find, working out, and like being fit, something that is necessary part of my day. Okay. And eating healthy, even. You know what I'm saying? It was always, to me, a program. It was always like, eat healthy and get fit to be fit. And then once you get there, it's like, okay, then, eventually you just keep going back, right? And why do you keep going back? I feel because the inner work isn't done. That's why. Okay. So, that's always been my bottom line about losing weight on this channel, is that I definitely feel like you should be whatever size you want as long as you're healthy. But I don't believe you can keep weight off if you haven't done the inner work. And that's based off of personal experience. And like I said, you can go back and look at videos. My weight has gone just up and down in like, just the past 5-6 years that I've been on YouTube. You can see that. So imagine what it's been like my adult life. It's been a problem my whole adult life. And I'm just feeling like I'm starting to understand how important the inner work is to maintaining, to manifesting the physical presence that you want to have. Amen. You know what I'm saying? If you don't do the inner work, you're not going to outwardly look like what you want to look like, right? And I think that a lot of people have a hard time with the fact that they look in the mirror and they don't see someone that they want to be. They don't look like how they want to look like, But I really feel like that's all about hard work, okay? Now, it's all about hard work. Well, let's talk about how hard the work actually is, all right? It's pretty hard work. And it's really hard work when you're working from nothing, when you have zero resources. For some reason, I feel like there's this like double standard insistence that like we are gonna hold Black women to the same standard we hold Black men to. Y'all can do it all you want to. I'm not gonna do it, so I don't care. Y'all can be fit and y'all can get fit, and you know that can be like what you pride yourselves in. Okay, but I don't believe men should pride themselves in being fit. 1, 2, y'all not all fit. I don't know what else to tell you. Y'all skipping over a lot of dudes with a wide load. All right, it's a lot of dudes out here with hips. They have hips. They have hips. They have a shelf. You understand? It's a lot of dudes out here with a shelf. All right, and I'm not talking about football players, even though some of the football players are pretty big too. You know what I'm saying? Why are we pretending that like the overweight problem is only affecting the women? As if y'all in Big Mama house, your mama house, whoever house, eating they food, the same food that's making them fat, you're eating it. Maybe you're not eating it as much. Okay? But it's like, you're not eating salads. You're not eating sushi. You're not at Whole Foods. I seen a couple. But I see more Black women at Whole Foods. What are you going to tell me? She's shopping for the man? She's shopping for herself as well. So I've seen more Black women at Whole Foods. Y'all not making this point about Black women being fit based on health. Y'all are making it based on aesthetics, the fickle, the look of it all. That's it. That's all you care about. And, you know, for me, I don't care what anybody says. That's all you care about. Because one, if you cared about Black families, you'd be taking care of these kids. Point blank, the period. Okay? Y'all don't care about health, or else you wouldn't be smoking fucking 1/8 of weed a day. Okay? Don't stop. You know how silly y'all sound? That's what I'm talking about. Like, you have to be a damn fool to listen to this stuff. These dudes don't care about health. That's garbage. If you cared about health, more of y'all will become doctors, so y'all can make sure that when Black women went to the hospital with your babies, they made it out. More of y'all would be teachers and principals, making sure that the prison to pipeline ends on Black kids. But instead, what are you doing? Talking about the 80s talk shows, talking about imaginary friendships that Black women had with white women that made them do things white women told them to do. And talking about what a woman looks like. That's what you're talking about. And you're serious, too. You're serious. So, you know, my point about it all is it's not all about self-determination. There's a multitude of factors. And just like we consider the factors for why the men, right? Because see, what we're doing here is saying, why aren't Black women competing on the global scale of fitness? When again, if the majority of your people live in hoods, how can you hold them to the standard of people who live in the suburbs? How can you hold them to that standard? Just like we're not holding the men. Y'all don't hold the men. Y'all don't hold the children to the same standard. I've seen it. You let these kids act however they want to act in school. You pass them when they shouldn't be passed. You're not holding them to the same standard. You're saying, oh, well, that's probably a little harder for them, so just let them through. You're caring about what the men have gone through, right? You're not telling them, hey, why aren't you competing on a global scale? That's never the conversation. That's never the conversation. That's never the conversation. It's always, why haven't y'all lost weight? And again, it's this, maybe if y'all lost weight, maybe that's when we wouldn't be dating and sleeping and hooking up with every other who shot John. And again, don't talk to me about something. Why are you talking about this? If you married and you happy, you goddamn right I am. While I'm talking about it, I've already told y'all a million times. People ask me to talk about these topics. That's why I'm talking about it. I've been asked, okay, to speak on these issues. So I'm going to, because I have a voice. Get used to it. Hey, Samurai. So I want you guys now to listen to this video. It's called Gigi and Bella Hadid Before They Were Stars. Okay. And now Gigi, or is it Gigi? Sorry. I think it's Gigi. Is it Gigi? Shit. Damn. I always try to make it look like I, know who these people are. But anyways, okay. So Gigi and Bella Hadid, okay, before they were famous. So I want us to listen to this video, okay? Because according to the dirty dusties of YouTube, these are 10s, right? That's what they're telling Black women. They don't have a beauty standard outside of white supremacy, but they don't want to compete with white supremacy. That's interesting. They don't have a beauty standard outside of white supremacy, but they don't want to compete with white supremacy either, right? They want to make all of that your problem, right? If only y'all was fit. Then the daddies would have stayed. But see, y'all wasn't fit. And y'all was talking about women issues. How dare you talk about women's issues? And I'll even hear these pick-me-shas, they'll be like, y'all gotta leave that alone. This ain't the time for that. When's the time? What is wrong with y'all? They'll be like, it's not true. I talk about both sides, but now's not the time. Every video, you talk about both sides, but now's not the time to talk about the men's side. When are you going to talk about it? I'll talk about it. I'll talk about it. That's what I do. I'll talk about it because I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. And all I'm doing is calling out the hypocrisy. That's all I'm doing is calling out the hypocrisy to the narrative that's going on around here. Because it's not right. I'm a Black woman. I'm scrolling around YouTube, living my best life, looking at all these videos, trying to get my nails done, like ooh, and then anyways, and then you see one of these dusties being like, what I'm saying? Like, who the fuck are you talking about? What's going on? So anyways, let's take a listen to this video about Gigi and Bella Hadid. Now, their mother was on Housewives of, I'm assuming, Beverly Hills or Orange County or something, whatever. Okay. And so she got her daughters into modeling at a young age.
Time where you check in with the kids. I think it's a time that keeps, the
Okay, so she's talking about the time she's talking about is dinner. She's like, it's so important to like make dinner with the kids and like be there for the kids. And I'm like, that's great. You have to see the video, which I'm not playing nobody videos on my channel just yet because I don't know how that works. I'm not trying to get no problems. But it's from, like I said, it's from the Housewives, okay? So she's making them dinner. It's like tomato balls, a slice of cheese. It's like an appetizer you would have at like a French restaurant.
Family engaged and close. Mother. Turn down. How many times have you been lost in your life? I feel like if you're not gonna be raising your kids, you shouldn't have any kids. I miss club volleyball. Volleyball is a very masculine sport. Modeling is a very feminine thing.
Excuse me.
She wanted to model all this time. Nice. So we have to give up things that we love to do. You know, you have to make a choice. Modeling is my job. Volleyball is my sport. These girls, they train 4 hours a day after school. So their bodies are big and bulky. And I mean, they eat like man. I wanted her to develop it.
All right. So in the clip, the mom is making them dinner. It's literally like a couple of cubes of cheese and some tomato balls. All right. Just like some little tomatoes. Okay. Then she's telling Gigi that she has to quit playing volleyball because, one, volleyball makes you muscular. It doesn't make you big and bulky, like her mom said. I played volleyball for many years, but it's like, it doesn't, like, you're not big and bulky. It just gives you muscle that she doesn't want her to, like, have. And, of course, you'd have to eat more to sustain all the energy you're using, right, playing volleyball. So she's telling Gigi, not to play volleyball anymore, right, when she's, like, in high school, okay, because it'll make her big and bulky, all right? And they're eating their cubes of cheese and little tomato balls. That's what they're having for dinner.
As a woman. In 3rd grade, remember I used to wear basketball clothes to school. Or New York off. I mean, she just did the big fall campaign for Guess, and today she's doing an ad for Europe. Are you excited about your birthday tonight? Yeah, I'm so excited. See all your friends? Yeah. I'm so excited for the food. Pretty much all the food that we're eating is like a heart attack in a meal. It's like, but it's gonna be so good. It's good. You're gonna have one night of being bad, right? Yeah, I was actually really good this week. Yeah, and then you gotta get back on your diet then.
Okay, so I don't know if you guys heard that conversation. If you did, let me know. If you didn't, let me know. Okay, Gigi's mom, okay, is talking to her. She's at a photo shoot. And she's like, are you excited about your birthday tonight? And she's like, yeah, I'm so excited about the food. Right? She's like, it's going to be like so good. Like it's going to be heart attack. So anyways, she says it's going to be heart attack food. Right? That lets you know immediately right there. Have you ever heard Black person call food heart attack food? Like, no. We're like, oh, let's eat. Right? Let's eat. Right? She's like, it's going to be heart attack food. Okay, for my birthday. This ain't just any old day. This ain't just like the weekend. It's her birthday. And then her mom says, yeah, but have your fun tonight, but then you're going to get back on your diet. Right? And she goes on to say, you know, they like them skinny in Paris. So they like them a little skinny. So keep that in mind. Okay?
Because you know, in Paris and Milan, they like the girls just a tad on the skinny side. Can I just look at these? Keep doing what, like when I'm working. See, keep doing what you're doing, okay? Make money so you can buy your first apartment in New York City. Yeah. Bye-bye. You're doing such a good job, Gigi. Aren't you proud? See, it's hard to exercise 6 days a week, and it's hard to not eat any sugar, and it's hard to have to eat salad every day, but now you see how it pays off. Like when I'm working out, I'm like, I don't want to do this anymore. Yeah. But then, who wants to be a model, right? But then when I'm shooting, I'm like, I'll do another 3 million sit-ups if you want. We left the apartment.
Okay. I don't know if you guys just heard that part either. Okay, but they're walking on the beach. And her mom said, you see, it's hard to work out 6 days a week and to not eat sugar and to have to only eat salad. But isn't it so rewarding? And then Gigi is like, yeah, it's so rewarding. And like, I hate doing it when I'm doing it, but like, I hate working out every day. But then when I'm a model on set, on a shoot, I would do 30,000 more sit-ups. Whee! Right? And they're on the beach, and they are white women, and they're having the time of their life. The end. Okay? what's the point of that? Is like, are y'all kidding me? Y'all know good and damn well y'all live in the same house as black girls grew up in. You know, nobody is talking to black women like that. It goes further as well, these clips where basically you see how much she is rewarded for doing, and this is a very important part to note. She is literally doing what her parents tell her to do. This is not something that she decided to do on her own or had to do to pay her bills, right? She was playing volleyball. Her mom put her in modeling when she was a little girl, 5 years old. She's literally doing what her parents asked her to do. And because they're asking her to do this, they compensate her very well and they encourage her very well and repeatedly every day. And then they promote what they're saying by giving her, you know, all of the physical training that she needs, right? Giving her whatever clothes and privileges that she has, you know. Her mom goes on to say, you know, my daughters are very privileged. She said it. Unlike Lori, Saved by the Bell or Saved by the House or Full House, Lori, whose daughters weren't aware that they had privilege and that privilege existed before their parents lied to get them into college and paid to get them into college. Unlike them, this woman's saying, I'm very aware that my daughters are privileged, right? That helps them to be that 10, which, by the way, I mean, you know, I think Gigi is pretty. But, you know, I mean, to me, the prettiest supermodels were the 90s supermodels. So that's just my opinion. But anyways, I think Gigi is definitely the prettier of the sisters, basically. But, you know, so like these are the 10s. This 10 grew up in a mansion with multimillionaire parents with connections. She's white. Every day of her life, her parents are encouraging her to eat healthy and to be a model, basically, right? She's living in California. She's living in sunshine, right? They've got private beaches. Don't you think she has a little bit more incentive to be a size 0 than a woman who has to run to catch the bus in the freezing cold and her feet are wet because her boots are not waterproof and it's 5 inches of snow outside, and then she got to run to the babysitter and then pick up the baby and then drop him off here and then deal with this dude who... Do the math. Do the math. Okay? So yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it on that part of it. Again, it's just very bizarre that we're leaving out the nuance of why Black women are not a monolith group of fit women. I don't know a group of women that are every one of them is fit. No, I don't. And I know a lot of women. Y'all talk about white people so much. It's so funny because when I first started the channel, there was a video where I was talking to my husband, at the time boyfriend, and I grabbed his arm to be like, see, he's real. Like, I'm not like making him up. And people were like, oh, you so thirsty. You were so thirsty to show that arm. You were so thirsty. Look how thirsty y'all is. One, y'all talk about it all the time. Y'all talk about these people all the time. Y'all, I've been on clubhouse rooms that was all Black people. As soon as a white person come in, everybody's quiet. They get the stage for as long as they want. I've seen it. I've seen it. Y'all talk one game but do another. Thirsty for approval. So let's acknowledge the nuance of why Black women struggle with weight gain and unhealthiness, right? Because the whole community is struggling with that. Y'all act like Black men are sitting there eating salads and they've got a totally different, healthier system going on than Black women. That's not the case. Men can lift. Did y'all know that? Did y'all know that men can lift weights that are heavier than a woman can lift? And men have something called testosterone. It makes their bodies not want to accumulate fat. But a lot of them be fat too. You want to set this standard about the world stage, but you're not competing on the world stage. That can't be asked. We're not going to have that conversation. All right. So let's move on to The Bachelor. Okay. I mean, it's pretty cut and dry. Eloho did a video on it, and a few other women have been talking about the issue, and no one's saying anything but, typical, not to be surprised, right? Which is that The Bachelor, who is the first biracial Black bachelor, but of course they don't say biracial Black, they just say Black. But then he goes, right, and pulls the host aside and is like, I'm biracial, right? Okay. Why y'all want to swear that the one drop, and it's so funny too, because I've heard people talk about the one drop rule who were all about that life, who were like, they are Black, and all of a sudden, when they're constantly being told by biracial people, like, no, I like to acknowledge all parts of me. Now all of a sudden it's, oh yeah, they're biracial. Like, I mean, it's just obvious. It is what it is. Okay. So this guy is biracial. His mother is white. His father is Black. He goes on The Bachelor and he pulls the host aside. Okay. To like, let him know that like, he's not there on some Black love tip, basically. Right. Why did he need to preface that? Why? And I believe he had to do that because Black women put way too much stress on Black men about being in relationships with them. See, they don't mind sleeping with you and making babies with you, okay? But a lot of times they want to draw the line at a relationship. Knowing that it's on you if you give them what they want. Y'all do that a lot. Y'all give the other party what they want, and then you say, well, I did something nice for you, so what? So what? Okay? So I think that, and other people have said this, you got to let go, right? They don't want you to put that much pressure on them. I've said this to you guys before. As far as they feel, you're a fool if you didn't go with whoever thinking that they was going to give you a ring, right? A lot of these dudes, they hang out in groups with just themselves. I don't know if you ever noticed that, but like they don't have Black women friends. It'll be like a group of like 6 of them. They won't have any 6, 8 guys that always hang out, always do everything together. They don't have not one Black woman friend in that group. I've never seen anything like it. I've never seen a group of friends, so it's, to me, the sexual divide, right? And they give loyalty to their friends. in that group that they're not going to give to you. That's just something that I've noticed. You know, it's not surprising his mother is white. So if he does choose a white woman, then it is what it is. I mean, he's attractive enough, but there's plenty attractive men out there. You don't have to send a signal to this guy like, why didn't you choose me? Let them be with who they want to be with. And you go out and do the same. The end. You know what I'm saying? And I think that Black women don't seem to understand how much these dudes really don't like Black women. They have a problem. And I think a lot of it stems from their problems with their mother. A lot of them have mommy issues that they're not going to address, right? Because I love my mama. I'm not going to do that to my mama. Okay, so why would you do something to a random woman that you don't know? When you mad at your mama, right? And, behind narcissistic, and I'm not talking about all, I'm talking about Dusties and misogynoir filled, colorist filled individuals, particularly, right? The date outs. That's what The Bachelor is. He's a date out. Okay. And there's a lot of date outs here on YouTube. A lot of date outs. Black dudes with channels where they're talking about dating and stuff. And they talk, like, every thumbnail is a non-Black woman. Nobody gives them a hard time about that. And that was something that I found very bizarre, because when I came onto YouTube, I was just trying to talk about my life. And people put on to me how they felt about them not having their options available, or why would you marry or be with somebody that's not Black? And it was all everything about Blackness is based on sexual accessibility. It's just so bizarre. For me, my idea of Blackness is not based on if a Black man wants to date me. So I don't know what to tell a lot of you. You know what I'm saying? I don't care about that. Like I said, for me, I saw a message of the ones that want to call themselves good guys dating out. That's what I constantly saw. And because I saw that, I was like, okay, bet. I guess that's what we're on. So, okay. And then when I did it, it was, oh, what's going on? What do you mean, what's going on? The same thing that y'all been doing, right? So, anyways, The Bachelor basically says, I'm not here on some Black love tip. I like various women. My mama is white, and I don't want to have to feel like I have to pick a Black woman, basically, which I find interesting, because I'm watching. I'm not going to watch the show. I'm not going to lie. I've never watched any of the Bachelors or Bachelorettes, but I was watching some of the clips, and the Black women are gorgeous this season. So I'm like, if you don't choose one of these gorgeous Black women, that's going to be crazy. There are some other pretty women there, I'm not going to lie, but I think overwhelmingly the Black female guests are gorgeous. Not going to lie. It's giving me Miss America. So he's got a lot of options available there. But again, I just feel they hate if they think that you stare at them when they're with their white girl, right? And it's if you guys just opened up your options, you wouldn't stare at them. You wouldn't be, you see what I'm saying? I don't think that there should be a preoccupation with interracial dating when it comes to Black issues. I don't think there should be such preoccupation. I think that it's something that happens because that's what happens in communities. but like, okay, moving on, right? Moving forward. And instead, it's such a preoccupation. You know, these men have various reasons why they want to date out, but a lot of it has to do with proximity to whiteness. And that's important to them. And this is one of the only ways they feel that they can attain it. And so, you know, you see a lot of times too, you got to think about, again, these dudes who are raising these men, these colorist men, you know, women who understood that they weren't preferred because the man was out and about. Papa was a Rolling Stone going from house to house, right? Women who despised themselves because they didn't feel chosen by the men. And then the child sees this. And he doesn't want anything to do with, I've noticed a lot of guys, like if you behave a certain way, you know, like I feel like if you act like you're from the hood or whatever, right? It's like if you're from the hood, you're like, whatever, right? You doing all that. A lot of black dudes will be like, oh, like why is she doing that? It's like, oh, because that's something that people do in the hood, right? But it's like, oh no, only they can do that. You're supposed to sit there with a cup of tea, you know, and it's like only we can do that. Because they don't want to see a reflection of what they're doing in their woman. They don't want to see it. They want to see what they want to be happening. But they don't want to see what's actually happening. You know? And, you know, yeah, you can blame slavery. I personally blame post-traumatic slave syndrome for a lot of these issues because you don't have an identity and you don't know yourselves, you know? But the bottom line is, let go of caring about who other people are with and just focus on yourself and what you're attracting. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of y'all don't do that and don't know how to do that. But yeah, you know, if you look at these dudes, a lot of them see white women as their mother. It's just something that I noticed, you know, because they love to psychoanalyze black women. But like for example, Lil Wayne's preoccupation with older white women, right? That's something that's come out, and allegedly, Lil Wayne has a preoccupation with like older white women. Like he really likes older white women, finds them very attractive. Of course, they've been talking about Yeezy recently with Jeffree Star, who I would say is, you know, looks like an older white woman. He looks like an older white woman. I don't know how he identifies himself, but I think he calls himself a, you know, Jeffree Star. So I think that he considers himself a guy, but he presents like an older white woman, right? And apparently Yeezy has been having a relationship with him. Allegedly, that's what they say. Okay, and then you'll just find so many times. I mean, you know, Common has dated older white women actresses. He dated that one actress from Jurassic Park that was like married to Billy Bob Thornton when he like left her for Angelina. Anyways, he dated her. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of these dudes, they'll tell you like, oh, my mother was overbearing and, you know, everything was her way or the highway. And I didn't really like that and or appreciate that and or like her. But they've got a story about an elementary school teacher or a middle school teacher who was nice to them and helped them out, right? And then, of course, you have, you know, and I hate to get all conspiracy theory or whatnot with it, but you've got the image of Jesus Christ himself, who black women will put in their home, this white Jesus. They'll put white Jesus in the home. And, you know, white Jesus has a very soft, feminine look. They say that that was done on purpose as well. Because I couldn't imagine a man during that time in society having that soft of skin and like a glow, that kind of glow. Not only that, but you know, I mean, I haven't been to Israel or Jerusalem or anything like that, but, you know, we've been to Rome. And like, you can't have like fair skin there during the summers. Like, you would burn, you know? So it's like, imagine what it would be like in Jerusalem. But they've always paint this very fair skin, sort of cherub looking, you know, like rosy cheeked individual with blue eyes and like long hair, right? And this is presented as savior, right? And then his mother, of course, as well. It's like everything is like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and then you have to look at as well how y'all respond to white people, even on YouTube and Black YouTube, right? And there is a deference that y'all give to whiteness that y'all don't give to each other. So, I mean, is it any wonder, you know what I'm saying, that even though he has all these beautiful Black women as options, he's like, I want to keep my options open. He's entitled to that, you know? And people have pointed out that the Black Bachelorette also chose a white guy. And I also didn't watch that because I don't care. But, you know, so, okay. I mean, it is what it is. Like, again, as I've said a million times before, one thing that we're not going to do on my channel is tit for tat compare Black men and women. Men and women are not to be compared tit for tat. That's why men are men and women are women, because they're not to be compared tit for tat. But yeah, the Black Bachelorette did choose a white guy as well, you know. So, you know, if you're looking for Black love, create it. You know what I'm saying? But you're not going to be able to bully other people into doing what you want them to do. I think that he made that announcement because everyone knows how hard Black women go about seeing Black men with interracial people. I mean, with white people. But again, he wouldn't be dating outside his race to be with a white woman because his mother is white. So he's white and he's Black. He's biracial. So it's not outside of his race. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know why it's outside of his race when the woman is white, but it's not outside of his race when the woman is Black. When he's raised by a white woman, you know, so just about everything he does is probably white cultured centered. And of course, he's had to live as a Black man because he presents as a Black man. You know, he cannot white pass. But he grew up and was raised by a white woman, and that's not a Black experience, you know? So anyways, I don't know. He's cute. It looks like an interesting season. I'm going to get going. Thank you for joining me, you guys. And yeah, I'll see you guys on the next one.